Hello everyone, this is Mr. 13 Things coming at you one more time, giving you an update on the types of things that are available to those of you who will delve into the Khan Academy exercise framework. I will point out once again that right at the moment they are working on math, but in this last week, Unleashed has been the founders class at MIT. And so they're opening up a little bit more for people doing a couple of other things. However, individual classroom teachers or districts are probably going to want to tend to use what Khan Academy is developing, but also whether you are a school district or just training your kids, you want to develop your own exercises and host them out at your own site using their framework. Pointing out once again that their framework is MIT licensed, which means you can write your own exams and then put them behind your own site, your paywall. You can kind of do a little bit of cutting into their code to report the results, though once again this is just as good for just training as it is for testing. So what I've got here is just an example of the latest thing done out by Ben Eater as the volunteer. And how it might work. And this is just, there's no question here, but what I've done is I've laid in 4 points which are going to report where they are in this grid of 16 things. And so as I move these points around, you can notice up here in the top right, it's describing what portion of the grid they are in. These grids, as long as they are convex shapes, not concave shapes, they could be pictures or anything else. So in this case, we can think about the question might be identify the 4 pictures that are presidents, and you drag the drop to the 4 people that are presidents, and there would be spattered in there people who are not presidents. I will point out that this would not be showing up. However, you can hide this answer type here, so in fact the students cannot see what they're going over the top of. And if you notice that one of these dots, the one that is on disk 5 or on position 5, is actually coded so it actually goes one better, and it's reporting some text. So this would be, for instance, where the data would show that this would be like Grover Cleveland perhaps, or Ronald Reagan right here. So you see that these dots can have different functionality. You can have more than 4 dots. I think you could have 8, you could have 16 theoretically. Right now I don't know why you'd want to have more, but there's some ability to do that. So the code, once again, and this is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to show here how you do it, just to realize that once you have 1 or 2 of these templates kind of designed and developed, it's pretty straightforward to go about and change them. So changing in the pictures of the pattern, whatever you want to do. So as you go through here, I click, go down through, and if you hit check answer, it gives you, obviously that's wrong. In this case, you could put hints, no hints provided, but it might do things like move the dots to the correct places. The potential for this, as you lay on top of it, the fact that you can include pictures, including even short animations in the form of GIFs, really does open up a lot of ability for you to kind of build quizzes and tests that allows students to practice and master. And then hopefully, even if you need to do paper and pencil tests, they will have you will have identified students that actually know the material, and the ones who don't, you can concentrate on those that do not know it. This does record time in between. So if, for instance, the question would be put all the dots in one spot, you know, it takes a certain time to do that. I'm moving those around. You see them jump, and I'm going to point out one last thing here. If you notice here, again, when not correct, there are spaces here that are all null. I've got some spaces. If these last little ones over here are actually designed to be, and that's one of the places you're going to see how it has a hard time getting sometimes outside where something's not defined. So you do want to have all your space defined there. So it has a hard time inside. The top left spaces on these diagonals are defined with a value of 0. So not perfect, and we'll be experimenting more and more. You can see, I hope, the potential of dealing with equations, pictures, all kinds of stuff. Thanks for listening.